All right, we are live. Going to be going over the Hoover Length Series that's replacing the April 5th event. While I go and share this live out to all the social media platforms, Joe Hatfield's going to take over.
Hey everyone. While Mike's sharing this, I'm just going to go over this event. It was a makeup event for the April 5th tournament that was canceled. I figured we'd try to do something a little bit fun since the weather is so unpredictable during the springtime. So Mike and I talked, and we thought we'd throw this event together. This way we can go out and do something a little bit different, have fun, and kind of fish at our own pace. Trying to tie down dates this late in the game for rescheduling is pretty tough. I originally pulled a permit and realized it was on Easter Sunday, and I wasn't going to make everybody fish that day. So what we're here for is to kind of go over this event, answer any questions you have, let you know what we have available. I know I have some boards available to loan out. I think I have like 5 or 6 available. So if anybody's looking for a board for the event, we can meet up and I can supply you with a board to borrow for it. I'm actually looking forward to this. It's going to be kind of fun. My week is kind of crazy, so I'll probably get out a couple nights on a weeknight and hopefully fish over the weekend. And we're going to see how this works. Like I said, something a little bit different, something I think we can all kind of hop in and have fun with. I know might get a guest appearance, I think, from Ryan Bortz. I heard he might be coming up for the fish a couple days. So as of right now, it's looking. We got 5 people registered. I know we got quite a few more that are fishing. They just kind of want to hear us out, and usually wait till the day or the day before it starts. So starting to run out. All right, are you all set?
I am not, but one note on that, I could talk while I'm doing this. What was I going to say? If you're going to fish the week-long event, you do have to sign up before it starts. You can't. Every now and then, when some people are new, they think that you can just sign up at any point during the week and just finish the week out. That's not the case. You do have to sign up prior to the tournament starting. Tournaments will be starting Monday morning at 12:01 a.m. So that means you have until Sunday night at 11:59 p.m. to sign up. So just wanted to make that clear. That's something that you would think is intuitive, but it's not. It's not intuitive whatsoever.
Yeah. The way this is looking, I know the water's up a little bit. I think it's back down to almost normal pool, but this is open to anybody, bank, kayak, boat. If you want to fish it, it's available for you. It's probably a great time of year from you're fishing from the bank. If you have some time to put it in the water, you get that shallow spring bite, depending on where they're at. And I know, looking at my feed, there's been a bunch of fish caught during the day. There was a big flathead, I think, caught last night or 2 nights ago from the shore. So they're out there, and with the week-long tournament, it kind of evens the field out a little bit.
It does. And so let's go into, all right, here we go. I got everything pulled up. Thank you for that intro, Joe. I got everything posted out. I'll take a little ownership there on the lack of advertising of this live. So we'll make sure we do a good virtual captain's meeting. In the old StreamYard, whenever you made a live stream ahead of time, it used to post automatically to Facebook. It doesn't do that anymore. So Joe had to listen to me complain about that. I won't put you guys through that. Real quick, for anyone who is new, if there's going to be anyone new, go to your YouTube, type in online catfishing tournaments, go to our YouTube page, go to playlists, and then the 2025 important videos. These will get you caught up to speed immediately. How to become a member, how to register for a tournament, how to picture fish and submit fish, and the legal boards. There's 2 caveats to those rules. Remember, event-specific rules will override anything in those videos. For this one specifically, any commercially made board is legal. Normally, it's just a muskie bumper for our scene, but any commercially made board is legal for this one. You do have to ask me and Joe ahead of time if it's not a muskie bumper, if it's okay. So give us a call or shoot us pictures or shoot us a message. The reason we allow non-commercial or non-musky bumpers in this event, because we're trying to get people involved in Central Ohio as best as we can, and sometimes getting a musky bumper isn't viable, or you can't get one. Maybe you find out about the tournament a few days ahead of time, so you can't get yourself a hold of one. But if you are going to use a non-musky board, you have to make sure that that picture is submitted perfectly. The how to picture a fish will show you the orientation. Real quick overview, blues and channels. Actually, I'll just go to a tournament that's going on right now where I can grab you guys some. Blues and channels need to be right side down, left side up. Where is Dave McKinley? Because Dave McKinley has a flathead as well. Dave McKinley. Okay, blues and channels must be right side down, left side up. Emily, I need you to go. You see how it's right side down, left side up? It has to be clearly bumped. Whatever the quarter mark it's passing is what you get scored. In this case, it's 34.75 or 34.5 inches. And that's all blues and channels. And your identifier must be in the photo. In this case, the identifier for this specific tournament is OHI. OHI is in the photo. Everything's good to go. The only fish that can be measured on its belly is a flathead. Flatheads, but it's the same exact measuring standards for everything else. It has to be clearly bumped. There's a little bit of an underbite. I have to make a judgment call. I believe it's clearly bumped, so this is still going to get scored perfectly. OHI, it's in the photo. If it ends up being upside down, that's perfectly fine, guys. I'm just more concerned about the letters being in order in the photo. And you get scored what's closest or what is touching the measuring surface. So you see how this tail is touching the measuring surface at 34 inches? He got scored at 34 inches. He doesn't get scored at where this tail's off the board. It's where it's clearly touching the measuring surface. So that's how you measure and submit the fish. But what I should have did first was show you how to actually get to the tournament. So how to get to the tournament, and I'll do a quick explanation of the membership fee. So download the Fishing Chaos app, create a profile. Once you create a full profile, go to Trail Club. You're going to look up online catfishing tournaments. Once you're here, down here, it'll say become a member, $20 membership fee. I do have to have everyone has to have a membership fee to fish any event that I host. Reason being insurance. This is all traceable. This is all trackable. If anything were to happen to any of the anglers, any of these tournaments, especially in a tournament like this where nighttime fishing is viable, I am liable. I am held liable. Our insurance every year is well over $1,000. And we actually don't start seeing any profit on that until about 69 members. Because I don't get the full $20 for the membership fee. I get like 19 and change. So that is why I do need everyone to become a member. Excuse me. Also, as you're a member, you go to tournaments, or you go to series standings, you score points for every tournament that you enter. So in the Hoover length series, you'll see there's already people with points. You automatically get 50 points for signing up. So when you're a member, it puts your points over here. The winner of this series ends up winning a free kayak. So maybe it'll inspire you to fish more of the length events. Some people were concerned that it's might be their only event of the year. The Ohio Length Series, that's open to boat. You can fish any of those. Hoover's going to have another event this year where you can fish in the length or the weight division. So August 24th is actually a really fun event on Hoover. We're opening it up, no holds bar. Anyone fishing the weight division that day can also fish the length division that day. And there's not going to be any special rules. It's going to be whatever the weight rules are, they have to abide by. Whatever the length rules are, they have to abide by. It's just one giant tournament. I think that one's going to be a lot. I think that'll pay for your musky bumper and your any kind of fees associated with it right there. But yeah, that's mainly what I have. And then once you become the member, you go to tournaments, you'll scroll down, Hoover Length Series, click on Hoover Cat's Length Division. The register button's right there, and it's self-explanatory to register. It's starting Monday, April 21st at 12:01 a.m., ending Sunday at 11:59 p.m. That is a hard cutoff. If you're in the middle of reeling a fish in at 11:59 p.m., but you don't get a picture before 11:59 p.m., that fish will not count. And there's one special rule. It's called an anti-sandbagging rule for anyone who is new to online fishing tournaments. Sometimes people will save all their fish until the very last day, very last hour, submit everything to the leaderboard. And that's I don't like that. Sponsors don't like that. It's called sandbagging. I don't really think it's an officially sandbagging, but it's called sandbagging. So you have 24 hours to submit any catch that you take a picture of. So hypothetically speaking, you catch a fish at noon. I take the picture of it. I have until noon the next day to submit that fish to the leaderboard. You should do it right away. Like, there's no excuse not to do it right away. You should really be doing it right away just to make sure it gets on the board. But if you don't do it within the first 24 hours of taking that picture and someone notices, you are subject to having that fish disqualified. So it's called an anti-sandbagging rule. It's very prevalent in the majority of the tournaments we do. We have a anti-sandbagging rule in our month-long events. It's 3 days. It's not 24 hours, but a week. With it only being a week, we have to kind of shorten the event. And there's great service on Hoover. There's no real excuse not to submit your fish within 24 hours of you taking the picture. So 3 fish limit, by the way. 3 fish limit. It's your best 3 fish. $55 entry fee, 40 to the pot, 10 to big fish. Any remainder goes to the little credit card fee that the app charges. Do you have anything to add?
No, but thanks for covering the membership fee. I know that there was some confusion with some of the guys that fish the weight division. I didn't explain it. I didn't kind of put it out there ahead of time. Honestly, I forgot about it. You and I had a discussion. I was like, because when I went to sign up, I'm like, Mike, what's this? And you're like, you remember that? I'm like, no. So I put something out there, but thanks for kind of covering that. So, like I said, if you do only plan on fishing this one event, it's your call. It is an extra $20 to join because Mike is hosting the event and it is covered by his insurance, and that's why we have to charge the fee for it.
Yeah, and honestly, it is really good to have, because if you fish, and it's a one-time thing, if you fish anything that we host throughout the year, then you're covered. I don't want to say this officially, but now that I'm tracking these, I'm tracking your weight divisions. So great example. So Central Ohio Catfish Club, I haven't put their next tournament in. I'm tracking all their stuff on here just so there's like a physical record of it. If you're a member of OCT and something happens in one of these tournaments to you, you might be covered under our insurance. Potentially. Don't quote me. So it might not hurt to become a member just for that reason alone. Yeah, hold that thought. That just dawned on me. That might actually be another perk to people who fish Central Ohio and Hoover Weight Division. They might have secondary insurance through me if they become a member of me, since I'm tracking them. But hold that thought. I'm not saying that officially yet, because insurance is a very tricky world.
Yeah, it is. Trust me.
Yeah. But the boat guys, you have a ton of other options. You got a month-long event that you could fish, a national slot month-long you could fish, which is, if you're going to fish other tournaments throughout the month, you might as well get in. It's a $25 tournament, and it's your 10 best fish up to but not breaking 30 inches. And you have your Ohio Length Series. Like this weekend, for example, our very first one is at Caesars Creek. We got 3 anglers in it already. I know Andy Ward's doing it. He's bringing somebody. I'm doing it. Yeah, and this is open to bank, kayak, and boat. So if you plan on doing 3 or 4 tournaments throughout the whole year, it's definitely worth it for sure. If you're only doing the one, then I completely understand if you don't want to eat the $20 fee for just the one tournament. I get it. So, but yeah, do you, it's 3 rods per boat, period, per watercraft. So you can have, 1 registered angler in the boat who's submitting fish that day, and it is 3 rods. So Joe, great example. He wants to go fishing with his kids. So Joe can still compete against all of us. Him and his kids can fish. Joe can sit back. Even though Joe's a registered angler, Joe can sit back and just watch his kids fish and then submit all the fish to his leaderboard, because you got to think about it more as the boat is the registered thing in the tournament, not necessarily the individual. So Joe fishing with his 2 kids, his 2 kids can do all the fishing. They can measure the fish, submit the fish, net the fish, bait the hook, cast a rod, put the planer boards on, but everything going on in that boat, as long as, because where the advantage comes in is the rods. I'm not like, now that I've bank fished, kayak fished, and boat fished, I really don't see an advantage having a net man on it. I'll be honest, I actually think it's easier to net fish in a kayak. Out of all three of the fishing styles, I think netting a fish in a kayak's the easiest between bank, kayak, and boat. Because in a boat, you can have like obstacles that get in your way. One, the other angler, and two, like the positioning, the motor, where you're trying to reel the fish up in, all the extra rods that you might have out. Whereas in a kayak, I'm reeling that fish directly to me, and my other hand is using it to scoop it up. So I don't really see much advantage in having more people in the boat. The main advantage there is the 6-3 rods, which that's still arguable too. I'm not gonna lie, I don't think there's much of an advantage 6-3 in Ohio, but
yeah, but just so everyone understands what he's saying, you can't have two people competing at the same time in the boat.
Correct.
One angler.
Yeah.
One angler, you're limited to 3 rods.
Yep. Yep. Yeah. So I'm trying to think. I think we nailed everything. We got 5 people in the chat. Man, I really wish I advertised. We normally have like 10 to 20, but that's okay. If there's any more questions, please hit us up right now. Or you can also hit us up anytime between now and Sunday night at midnight. This isn't the last time we're going to be talking about this. Also, if you missed this live, or if you or at the end of this live, we're just coming in, we still went over this. Let me go here. Online catfishing tournaments, videos. I made an actual video of it, Hoover replacement event, essentially talking about what we're talking about now. But it's in a video format to where, it's kind of chopped up and in order. Any questions?
Yeah, we're a couple years into this, so a lot of I think a lot of guys who don't even fish the measurement division will kind of understand what we're doing, and I think they've seen enough of it.
Mm-hmm.
So
boundaries, we didn't really touch on them. It's essentially whatever's navigable from the main body of water. So a great example is we'll just go up here somewhere I've crappie fished before. And this is kind of a hypothetical because I don't know how high the water is. But let's say you can get all the way back here in your kayak or boat. Well, the navigable we use for us is, can a kayak get there, do a full turnaround, and come out without the kayaker having to get out or touch bottom? So as long as it's navigable for a kayak to do it, then it's legal for anyone to fish there. If a kayak can't get to it, then it's not legal to fish there via bank, kayak, or boat. Because I wouldn't want somebody fishing all the way up here, because technically you can get to it from the main body of water, bank fishing, but you can't get to it from kayak or boat. So everyone needs to be on the same playing field.
Yeah, with the water being up, Mike, I think if you want to take your boat all the way up there,
yeah.
I know guys who have gone pretty far up the creeks.
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, this time of year, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, as long as you can get there. Yeah, that's all that matters. As long as you can get there from the main body of water, that's fine.
Yeah, once you get up on the right side feeder, once you get up in the Galena, honestly, I think it would probably be kind of hard for a kayak and a boat.
Mm-hmm.
Then you start hitting shallow rocks.
Yeah. Trying to think any other special rules. We went over how to register, what you need to register, how many fish limit, days, legal boards.
One thing maybe to cover, like in a little more detail, just for guys, just so they remember, because I know it's going to happen to somebody. The identifier, how that works, so they know what to do and what to expect.
All right. So when the tournament goes live, I'm going to go to another tournament right now that is live. So when the tournament goes live, on the very first page, actually, I'm going to show you guys something really cool too. On your phone, it'll look exactly the same as my computer, but smaller. Get to your tournament homepage. So like right here, you'll get to your tournament homepage. On the right-hand side here, on the very bottom, it'll say default view. You're going to want to check that off once the tournament starts, because every time you open up the app, it'll take you directly to the tournament. That way you don't have to open up the app, find the tournament, go submit a fish every single time. But once you're on the tournament, when the tournament is live, you see right here, it says view identifier. You will click on that. In this tournament right here, not the Hoover event, in this tournament, the identifier is OHI. The Hoover event will have a different tournament identifier. These 3 letters in this order must be in every single photo. I don't care how you do it. If you want to write it on your board, if you want to put it in a piece of paper and put it in a waterproof sleeve, that's fine. However you want to do it, that's fine. If you go down to this specific tournament, like let's go to Brandon Hunter's fish, you see he has OHI in the photo. That's how I know it was caught in this correct time frame. No one has access to the Hoover identifier other than myself at this point in time. No one will have access to it until the tournament goes live. So if you are one of those people who are out fishing at midnight Sunday night, and when it turns to Monday, make sure you check for the identifier before you submit any photos. Board has to be legible. If you're night fishing, board has to be legible. I believe this is a night fishing photo right here. Board has to be legible. You see how I can still see everything. So if you're night fishing, keep that in mind as well. It has to be completely legible. All the standards still apply. In this case, it looks like he might have wrote it on his board or maybe taped a piece of paper to his board. Oh, here's a great example. OHI is clearly right here, guys. You see how I can clearly see OHI? Pretend that doesn't exist. Pretend this was the only place that he had OHI. This is a full disqualification because that I is not visible and not legible. So hypothetically speaking, this OHI doesn't exist over here. The only OHI in the photo was this one. This would be a complete disqualification because the I is not visible. I have to see every letter in the identifier in the photo. If you're accidentally covering it up, then it's the full fish is disqualified. You'll see a lot of guys like this, like Brandon Hunter, very big, very obvious, very in front of the photo. Matt Stewart, he puts all his below his fish right here. And you can put as many identifiers in the photo as you want. You can have like Dave McKinley, for instance, right here. He writes it. He wrote it here. He wrote it here because mistakes happen. You see how his finger is almost covering this up? Well, if his finger was completely covering this up in the photo and he didn't have this, it would be a full disqualification because the identifier is not in the photo. All right.
That's a good point.
I'm trying to think. I feel like there's something obvious there's always something obvious that you miss. And then like that mistake will happen the very first 2 minutes of the tournament. And you're like, oh, I didn't go over that. And you feel terrible.
How about for guys, this is their first time doing the measurement division, how payouts work?
Oh, payouts, PayPal only. And then the payout structure is posted to our Facebook page. If you go to, or our Facebook group, if you go to the online catfishing tournaments group, if you go to the very top, the featured, if you click on that, that's our national trail, Hoover payout structure. This is the payout structure. So right now, first place will win 140, second place will win 60, and then Big Fish is going to win 50 bucks. So it's very, very clear cut. You can find out the payout structure, but it must be via PayPal. I only do payouts via PayPal, and that's for personal auditing purposes.
And also, you don't usually send out payments till what, Tuesday or Wednesday following the tournament?
It's Friday following the tournament. I used to be able to work remote 2 days a week, Wednesday and Friday, but now I'm only allowed to work 1 day a week remote, which is Friday. So I do all my business typically the Friday following the tournament.
Okay. So just for everyone to be aware, like if you do fish in this and you win, it will be the following Friday before the funds hit your account.
Yep. After the tournament finishes. So like that Sunday night, the tournament finishes that Sunday night, that Friday, it'll be in your account by that Friday at midnight. And I think I've been doing this for 5 or 6 years. I think I've been late on 1 or 2 payouts ever. The technical written rule is I have until the fifth business day of the following month. That's the technical rule. But I try and always get it done within a week because I feel gross holding on to anglers' money after an event's done. A little more reasoning behind that. Anyone who signs up Friday, like anyone who signs up essentially now between now and Sunday, I won't have access to your funds until Wednesday. It's an ACH, and anyone in the banking world knows an ACH is it's essentially a 3-day process. Yeah, I think we covered all of it for the most part.
Yeah, we're pretty close.
I'm trying to think. I can't think of anything else.
I can't either.
Yeah. For people who are fishing this is replacing the April 5th event. I think I already said this. You will score points. So if you're trying to chase that kayak, this will count towards that. The fact that we're giving away a free kayak in every series, I really don't want to cancel any event because I just don't want people to lose an opportunity to get points on the board to win a free brand new really good kayak. You know what I mean? It's not like we're giving out like a Tamarack 100 or whatever they're called. New Canoe Unlimited is the free kayak that's being given away. Yeah. Do you have any? There's no more questions. Do you have anything?
No, I don't. I just hope people, if you're interested, give this a shot. I think it could be a pretty fun event, and I think it could get pretty competitive this time of year with the spring bite and some big fish being caught.
Yep. Our regional event is loaded with a lot of big Hoover fish that have already been caught.
Yeah, I've seen some pictures.
Yeah. There's been before we get off here, one of the Sismadia brothers, Kentucky boys, awfully quiet. So there's a little bit of trash talk that goes on in the regional, which is appreciated. And Jeremiah, we call him Jeb. Jeb is poking the bear here with that. So that's pretty funny. All right. Well, if you're good, I'm good.
I'm good.
Yep. If anyone has any questions, hit up Joe or me on Facebook. Ask for our numbers, and we'll get a hold of you.
All right, guys. Thank you very much. Appreciate you, Mike.
All right. See ya.
Yep. Bye.